Is LSD making a move on area schools?
Area police say yes, and we'll talk to local teens who attended a party where one of their classmates overdosed on the drug. Plus, a deadly fire claims the lives of 2 children in one area town, but firefighters say the tragedy could have been prevented.
And in HealthCast, find out what every parent needs to know about booster shots.
This is News 13, First News at 5.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mark Pompilio.
And I'm Tammy Watford. Thanks for joining us for First News at 5. Police say a popular drug from the 1960s and 70s is making a deadly comeback among teenagers, even in rural parts of the Carolinas.
As we told you last night at 11, Macon County detectives have arrested 2 teenagers for selling LSD to a 14-year-old girl. They say the girl almost died after taking an overdose of the drug. News 13's Deborah Potter talked to police, teenagers, and school officials in Macon County. She joins us today, and Deborah, do police think this is an isolated case?
Tammy, no, they don't, and that's the scary part. Detectives say LSD use is on the rise among high school and even junior high students. That's a concern shared by police across our region. They say LSD is the trendy new drug with teens, and police want teenagers and parents to know that even a single dose of LSD can kill. The 14-year-old girl who overdosed is a student here at Franklin High School. Police say at least 10 teenagers took LSD at a party at a rented cabin. The 14-year-old went into convulsions and ended up in the hospital.
It is a very dangerous drug, and due to the fact that it's made in clandestine labs and that it's made without any kind of controls, you don't know what kind of dosage unit you're getting.
Some of these Macon County teenagers were at the party where the LSD was used. But they say police are blowing the incident out of proportion. They say only a few kids took the drug. James Garrity says he drove the 14-year-old girl to the emergency room.
She knew what she was taking. She didn't know it was going to happen, though. What happened, she didn't know that was going to happen.
Pretty scary for everybody, it sounds like.
Very.
But you don't think a lot of kids are taking this stuff?
No, not at all. There is a few, but not as much as they're saying. They're saying that everyone's doing it, which is not true.
This is a picture of what LSD looks like. The liquid drug is dropped onto small pieces of paper like this, and it's cheap. Police say a hit sells for about $5. Macon County school officials are trying to make teachers and parents aware of what's going on.
I think we're very fortunate in this situation. We're glad the child's okay now, but this situation may save someone else's life if we'll raise the awareness level at this time.
This story is even more shocking because Franklin is in such a rural area, but police say it just goes to show how available LSD is. Here are some warning signs for any kind of drug use parents should be aware of. Watch for changes in your child's behavior, especially irritability and extreme mood swings. Pay attention to how your child dresses. Police say radical clothing or hairstyle changes can be a sign of drug use. And keep an eye on your child's grades. Experts say a sharp fall in school performance grades is another sign to be wary of.
Now, Deborah, it's good to hear that the girl has recovered from this bad trip, but isn't it true that there could be problems down the road?
That is true. That is something I learned today that I did not know. Police say this drug can absorb into your cells, a heavy person, for instance, and it can sit there dormant for years. And maybe 10 years down the road during heavy exercise, the LSD might come out again and cause you once again to have these trips. So yes, it can cause problems for years.
A time bomb.
Oh, goodness. Thanks, Deborah. We checked with North Carolina's Drug and Alcohol Council to see just how big a problem drug use is in our area. While there are no clear figures to use, they can see problems if they look at arrests. They base their figures on the number of arrests per 100,000 residents in the area. 1993 and 1994 are the latest years available. Now, in Macon County, where the LSD overdose happened, arrests actually dropped over that period. But in Buncombe County, the number of arrests increased from 240 to 274 cases. Haywood County also showed an increased number of drug-related arrests from 166 to 261.
Police say a third woman has stepped forward to say she has been raped by a Henderson County man, Walter Dwayne Stewart. Stewart is already in jail facing 2 charges of first-degree rape. And now an 18-year-old Hendersonville woman tells police Stewart raped her January 21st in Asheville. Detectives say the woman's story is similar to the other two reported rapes. Officers are turning the investigation results over to the district attorney, and charges are pending. A Buncombe County teenager spent a second day on the witness stand as the trial of Len Whitaker continues today. The 15-year-old girl has accused the former Janus Youth Program director of taking indecent liberties with her. But by the judge's orders, we can't show her face or use her name. Defense attorney Jack Stewart attacked the teen's credibility today. He questioned her about being a chronic runaway and making several claims of sexual abuse in the past. The alleged victim denied telling counselors that.
Did you tell Miss Carr or Miss Wilson at Trinity on September 2nd of last year that you were almost molested by a man serving ice cream?
No, I didn't tell nobody that out here.
The girl testified the indecent liberties happened last summer when she stayed with Len Whitaker and his family for a week.
Two young brothers are dead after an early morning house fire in Anderson County. Investigators say it started with a 4-year-old boy playing with a cigarette lighter. News 13's Judy Johnson joins us live now in our Greenville newsroom. And Judy, do you have any more details about the fire?
Yes, I do, Tammy. Investigators say that 4-year-old Zachary Ritchie got the lighter while his father was sleeping. They say Zachary took the lighter to the baby's room and started a fire near the crib where 1-year-old Christopher Ritchie was sleeping. By the time Zachary woke his father, it was too late.
Everything was all smoke, and it was very heavy smoke.
The smoke covered the entire house, and when the 21-year-old father, Chris Ritchie, jumped out of bed, he was overcome by fumes and collapsed.
I still can't believe this happened. I really can't. It's just like a nightmare.
Firefighters arrived racing through the house looking for victims. Clutching her own child, a neighbor told me what happened next.
The little boy being brought out, he was a little bit older than mine. And they laid him on the ground and tried to bring him back.
Danielle then saw the mother, who was working a third shift, return home to the tragedy.
The woman screamed that she had another child in there, and they couldn't find him.
She watched as they found the 14-month-old still in his crib.
He was just a baby. He was just a baby.
The two brothers died in the fire. While searching the baby's room, investigators found the cause of the blaze, but they did not find a smoke detector. The one thing that investigators say would have saved 2 young lives.
This fire burned a long time before it was discovered. So, just like all of them, it probably would have made a big difference.
There wasn't a smoke detector in that entire house, and that's a problem for the landlords. The Ritchies rented that house from Gail and Dean Hunter of Anderson. State law that went into effect last year requires landlords to supply smoke detectors in homes and apartments. I tried to contact the Hunters today for a comment, but they have not returned my calls. Tammy?
Judy, as far as the young child waking his father, sometimes we spoke earlier, I believe, last week, that children sometimes run and hide as opposed to going immediately to get a parent because they're afraid they may get in trouble. Did that happen in this case?
It seems like it might have. The reason the little boy woke his father and told his father he wanted something to drink. Maybe signaling that he wanted some water to put out that fire. They also said that this little boy had a problem with fire. He was starting to play with fire and testing fires, playing with matches and lighters, so they knew he had a problem with it, and they were speaking to him about it right before this happened.
Goodness, and I guess no charges against the father that you know of? Okay, thanks, Judy. Investigators are still tracking a suspect who tried to abduct a 12-year-old Cary girl yesterday. The girl was waiting for a school bus when a man tried to grab her. She managed to escape. Now, Cary investigators are in contact with police in Steubenville, Ohio. They're comparing this case with one in Ohio where someone tried to abduct a young girl from an apartment complex.
It's a battle between beauty and safety in Highlands. On one side are people who want a better, safer Highway 64 through the Colasaja Gorge. On the other hand are people who demand that the state preserve the beauty of the gorge at all costs. News 13's Suzanne Hudson is in Highlands tonight where the State Department of Transportation and the people finally met face-to-face. Suzanne, what happened?
Well, Mark, basically they talked and they argued and they finally agreed to look into improving some of the alternate routes to Highway 64 and the possibility they might have to improve Highway 64. Highlands. It's a peaceful little community at the top of the mountains, but getting there is tough. From the west, you have to take Highway 64, 9 miles of twists and turns, where brakes squeal at the curves and cuts, and drivers have to cross the center line to avoid the deadly drop-offs that make even the best drivers wince. Just ask the truckers who have to get their trucks through the narrowest passes.
It's just really tight in a lot of the curves.
Does it frighten you?
Yes.
But the truckers were firmly outnumbered today at a meeting between state DOT officials, city leaders, and city lovers.
I've driven the road. I love it. I think it appeals to many of our tourists, and that is our income in this area. And I feel that we should not touch that.
People have had so many near misses and being knocked over and being crushed up against the rock that we feel like the time's come to do something about it.
And major improvements to Highway 64 or the roads around it would cost a fortune. It's estimated that upgrading Highway 441 near the Georgia line and connecting it to Highway 106 would cost $12 million. Improving 441 at Otto into 106 is $32 million. And moving Highway 64 to the other side of the Calisaja River, where the road could be wider and straighter, a whopping $48 million. And since that would go through the U.S. forest lands, the studies alone would take years.
Once you start the environmental documents on a project like this, it may be as much as 5 years before you effectively get permission to proceed.
The DOT says in 1995, this 18-mile stretch of road here had 42 accidents, a number they certainly hope to reduce. Tonight at 6, we will tell you about some of the short-term solutions they talked about. Mark, Tammy?
Suzanne, could some of those include a pullover, some improvements to at least make the place a little bit safer in the meantime?
Those are some of the things they're talking about because, of course, they can't go spending $12 or $36 or $42 million anytime soon. But there are some less expensive solutions like pullovers that they hope to be able to put in place very soon.
All right, we'll hear more later then. Thanks, Suzanne. Well, coming up on First News at 5, 75 years of Betty Crocker's. We'll talk to an area woman who is about to become part of that tradition.
Plus, when did you last have a booster shot? If you're like most adults, you haven't had one since your teens. Find out why that's a bad idea.
And much colder air that's in Canada now is sliding south. We're going to feel the effects of it by the weekend. We'll throw in some precipitation to go with it.
This is News 13, First News at 5, with Mark Pompilio, Tammy Watford, and Ken Bostic weather.
I need another chance. I've got to get a car.
Bankruptcy is a nightmare.
What should we do?
Call Anton Clearance Center's New Start Financing. The Anton Clearance Center can help you reestablish your credit. Call 1-800-474-LEND. Call now. 1-800-474-LEND.
I'm driving. Thanks, New Start.
Call now. Get your Anton New Start loan today.
Get ready, Asheville! It's the 17th annual Original Self-Man Contest. Friday, February 16th, Saturday, February 17th, 8 p.m. in the Asheville Civic Center. Don't miss the Centerfold Ring Girl and the special intermission provided by Jerry Dulis Karate School. But the feature attraction is Friday night's Battle of Champions. Weaverville's Terry Dyer versus the new Tough Man World Champions, the Alaskan Assassin. Get Tough Man tickets now at the Civic Center box office. All selected seat outlets or call 1-800-693-TIXX.
So, the candidates are back. Here we go again.
Oh, Dad, such a cynic. It's a good way to find out what they're all about.
What you need to find out is how they're going to help you save for your retirement.
I'm trying, Dad. I know Social Security won't be enough.
That's why tax incentives for 401ks, IRAs, annuities, even life insurance are, well, so important.
And always will be, right?
That's what we need to tell the candidates. Tell the candidates retirement savings incentives are just as important as Social Security.
Hey, look, where do you see the great stuff I got at Hardee's?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just 79 cents each. There's a Junior Hardy, a cheeseburger, what the...
It's Hardee's new 79-cent big value menu. Great choices every day, like the new Junior Hardy, with 33% more beef than Wendy's Junior Burgers.
Well, I don't even know what that was.
Apple turnover.
Luther.
Guessing, I'm guessing.
Hardee's 79-cent big value menu.
From the kitchen at Hardee's.
Well, we did see just a little sunshine early this afternoon after some rain this morning, but we're going to see some big changes in temperature. Cold air is slowly working its way into the area, and the 24-hour temperature profile shows us around midnight tonight about 29. Then we're going to go downhill tomorrow morning, be about 28 by noontime. We may get back up to 35 by this time tomorrow afternoon. And it looks like most of that period will be a cloud cover through tomorrow afternoon. Rain develops late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and there could be some problems with that. A winter storm watch has just been issued for western North Carolina. We'll give you all of the details on that at 5:30 with the graphics and show you the counties that are covered, but all of western North Carolina has just gone under a winter storm watch. 31 right now at Asheville. Greenville-Spartanburg is 50, 53 at Anderson, 40 at Hickory. Skies are cloudy to partly cloudy. Here's that Arctic air pushing south, and the leading edge of it made it down to Dallas this morning, got down to 21. It's already across eastern Tennessee, and our temperatures continue to fall as this air is going to push south. This is the coldest, definitely, air of the season. There's no doubt about it, and we will feel the effects of it over the weekend. Frontal system, this low brought us some rain early this morning, now has moved off the coast. The front has moved a little farther south, and that high is going to pull that cold air in behind it. Now, tomorrow, we'll be watching this system. This is the one that's going to bring some precipitation to us. Tomorrow, it brings snow to the nation's midsection. A band of ice will move into Tennessee. Rain moves into Georgia. But all of this will move through our area tomorrow night and Friday. So we think we're going to see a mess before the weekend gets here. Temperatures are going to stay cold. The 0-degree line tomorrow down to Kansas. 32-degree line is going to be right across the upstate. We'll warm up just a little bit on Friday, but look at this. More cold air on the way. Forecast looks like this. Tonight, skies will be mostly cloudy, 25 low in the mountains, 30 for the foothills in the upstate. Tomorrow, again, cloudy skies, rain developing late in the day, 34 the high in the mountains, 40 in the upstate. And then, boy, I tell you, the first part of the weekend is going to be a mess. It really is.
That doesn't sound exciting at all. Can we get another forecast?
Yeah, can you start over?
We'll try again tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Ken. Coming up on First News at 5, do adults need booster shots? The answer could surprise you.
I'm Robert Green here at the McDowell County Jail, where last night an inmate tried to escape. We'll tell you how jailers kept that inmate behind bars. Coming up on News 13 at 5:30.
Never again. I'll never go back to hydrocortisone for my dry skin itch. I switched to Lanacane.
New medical testing on itch nerve shows the direct action of Lanacane relieves itching faster and keeps working better than hydrocortisone. Look, in the first crucial minute, Lanacane gave faster itch relief.
And the relief really lasts.
Over time, Lanacane kept working better.
Fast relief that lasts. I like that.
Lanacane not only relieves itching faster, it keeps working better than hydrocortisone.
It's your Carolina Ford dealer's great percent event. Ford Credit has slashed interest rates on 11 different 96 vehicles to a low 4.8, including the #1 selling Ford Taurus. Choose the 4.8 financing or take the $600 cash back. Put it towards your down payment and lease it for only $249 a month. There's even 4.8 financing or $600 cash back on Ford Windstar, or lease it for only $269 a month. There's more to afford during the great percent event at your Carolina Ford dealer.
I've driven this road hundreds of times, but I never really noticed it until about 6 weeks ago, around the time I started using Ginsana. Ginsana is a natural supplement. My daughter gave me a box, said it helps my body use oxygen better. It makes the most of my natural energy. All I know is I feel better, more alive. Ginsana opened my eyes to a more energetic me, and to all this.
Feel your Ginsana, the original all-natural energizer.
If it's performance, value, and extras you want, look no further. Because this week at Best Buy, you can get $150 toward any computer extras when you buy any computer with monitor. $150 toward a printer or software or any other computer extras with any computer and monitor. Plus get no payments and no interest for 6 months. So cruise on over to Best Buy. You're sure to drive home a bargain.
All right, when was the last time you got a booster shot?